Alright, I'm going to try this again. I had this thing probably a quarter of the way recorded and forgot that can't really be remote desktop connected with real VNC when I start this up because I dropped my connection. Anyways, welcome back. I intend to show how to get 5Ghoul, kind of like my adventures thus far in getting this up and running from start to at least having something connect to 5Ghoul. And what is 5Ghoul? I will refer you to the details in the repository here, but generally speaking, proof of concept 5G attacks against commercial smartphones, CPE routers, modems, and then it's got this implementation of DOS vulnerabilities affecting Qualcomm and MediaTek mobile devices. Really, before I go any further, as in any of these videos that deal with cellular and base stations and things like that, to make this clear, just like you can see the theme of this documentation and repository, this is security vulnerability research. I have no intent to um, encourage anything else outside of that. And when you're dealing with, especially cellular, you either need to have some sort of Faraday setup to contain your signals, because really broadcasting anything out like that is obviously it varies per country, but there's going to be a lot of legal issues and concerns and laws that govern and cover all of that. So do yourself a favor and make sure you have a lab environment. You're keeping your signals contained. You also can do direct connections. Make sure you're using attenuation stuff. In my case, I'm going to have everything contained here. And although I'm not physically showing it in the video, just understand that those precautions are being taken. All right. Anyways, I had a little bit of an adventure here on this 5Ghoul ghost hunt, I guess you would say. I started with a 5G smartphone, particularly this Edge 20 here, and it probably was something just my own lack of knowledge at the time. Or maybe something with the SIM card or whatever it was, but I could not get the phone to connect or to even see 5Ghoul or obey a lot of the commands that I was trying to do to scan and find 5G. Now I put a T-Mobile SIM in it, and it actually connected to the 5G excuse me network, so I know that worked. But anyways, I ended up switching things up and got this GL modem here. It was recommended by somebody. I'm drawing a blank on the name, but it was recommended, and it has a Qualcomm modem in it. So I went and grabbed one of those, and I actually also have the Broom 2 gateway, but I'm not going to show that today. That would have been a device that I could have plugged the modem into. In this case, we're going to plug everything into, if I didn't mention it already, the WarDragon. So I'm recording all of this, doing it all on the WarDragon, and my intent is that the WarDragon would come with the Docker and everything already set up for those that wanted to do this security research. I'm going to show from scratch here though, so anyone can follow along. But anyways, I have one of these development boards, and then I actually had these older Sysmocom Sims before. I actually had two left, and I swear I tried those in the phone, and I couldn't get them, I thought at the time, to see anything 5G related. So I ended up grabbing these SGA2s, and I'm sure they're perfectly fine. I think I do need a SIM card programmer. The MCC, MNC, that information changed on these cards to, I think it's 99970, which was different than the older SIM cards, which was 90170, I believe. Anyways, I battled around with these SIM cards in the modem. I got to the point where I was able to run some commands, and I could see the 5G 5Ghoul, but I really just could not get it to connect. And I thought, well, let me jump back to these SIM cards, put it in, and immediately had an attempt at a connection, and then of course it was rejected because I didn't have the information for the SIM card put into the 5Ghoul configuration. But I knew I was on the right track, and then made some changes, and lo and behold, boom, connected. That whole of uh, series of events is basically documented. I'm not this initial person up top here that opened this um, ticket number here, but I was jumping in and going back and forth with some discussions here, and you can just kind of look through and see some of the challenges and maybe misunderstandings that I had. But ultimately, things work. So I'm just going to share that with anyone else that's trying to get this set up. So bear with me. We're going to go through, and we are just going to get started right away here with. Oh, I should also point out. So I'm going to have a B210 plugged into the WarDragon, which, let me think, where's that at? I have already, there we go. I've already ran the probe to find it, and it's connected. This B210, actually somebody was nice enough to let me borrow it. I've got to return it, but I'm actually looking forward to maybe getting hands on another one that I can keep longer term or maybe indefinitely. So we'll see how that works out. Another thing, before you get started, um, if you're going to use a modem and you're going to use it on the same piece of hardware that you're running 5Ghoul, or really anywhere else, and you want to manually control and just manipulate things, make sure you stop the modem manager service. You can see the commands. I've already done that. I just went ahead and disabled it. This was actually causing me issues because the modem manager on the host was taking control of the modem, and then in the Docker of 5Ghoul, it just was messing things up. So let's just get started with our container setup. I'm going to dump some of these or drop some of these windows for right now. And I'm right in my home directory. I'm just going to make a 5Ghoul folder here, and we're gonna grab this .sh and really it looks like a lot of work has went into this. We're just going to make it executable, and let's see. I'm going to set up the WarDragon also to have Docker where it does not need sudo, but if you are prompted for the sudo password, go ahead and put that in. If you have set up Docker like outside of the WarDragon, I've got some guides from that. I'll need to remember. I'll point to some commands that I usually run in the description. While this is continuing to go, let me think. We can, let's see, what else can I point out? Yeah, we'll just go down through the discussion here. I'm going to get to one area that had some really good commands that are just kind of all consolidated here. Yeah, right here. So pretty useful mmcli commands and then qmi cli. I'm just going to kind of focus on this top box here. We can check, make sure. Shouldn't take too much longer here. Oh, and this part right here, when you're doing this is what I was referring to, and it's in one of the issues on there. It explains why. But I was recording with Real VNC, and when this starts up, um, it basically drops my Real VNC connection. That's why I'm just recording directly on the WarDragon itself now. Should be about done here, and this is going to start up the container and drop us right into the container itself. Yeah, so you can see we're now at user dragon, the WDI sector. I'm going to jump out of here though for just a second. I'm going to exit. And let's take a look in the configs directory. And I always got to remind myself, let's look at the global configuration here. I'm just going to come down. Let's see. USB control. There we go. So UE modem manager, because I'm going to do this manually. Just want to hit that to false. You probably, if you have everything set up right, you probably can run it. You just need to check your modem interface. In my case, it's actually going to come up as WDM0. Let's see what else. I'm going to save that. And I'm just getting this set up to remove some of the monitoring that's happening, so I don't have to see the, here we go, so monitor. I don't want it complaining about can't find ADB devices. And then one other thing is we're going to go ahead and I'm going to come up here a little bit. I'm going to hijack this MZ entry here, and I'm going to put the, let me see, I got to get it here for my reference. I'm going to put the MZ in of one of the old cards that I have laying around, and bear with me. 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 7 4 5 3. Don't really care about the if you really did want to have a full connection, then you need to go ahead and put the K and the OPC information in. But I'm just gonna leave that there. Also, if you want to look in the directory here, you look at, let me see, N78 106 conf. This is your open air interface configuration, and I won't even, this is like a lot of like a manual setup. I just jump down to right in here. This kind of controls the attenuation, I believe, and has the setup for the B210. So I'm just going to go ahead and leave the TX and RX with that attenuation on there. And shouldn't need to change anything else. Just trying to think what else maybe to address. That should be it. We'll come back up to our main directory here, and we'll run the container again. So now we're in the container, and we'll make sure we can find the USRP or the B210 inside there. And let me think. I'm going to actually open up a few windows here, and I'll see how best to get this set up. But Ghoul. I'm just gonna have a few windows open into the Docker. And let's see. My brain's moving a little slow, so let's see. We need to, I'm going to manually start. So we're going to go into the third party modem manager runtime sbin, and let's do a sudo modem manager on the binary that's there. Let's get it into debug mode. Okay, so it shouldn't die as long as you started the or stopped the modem manager on the host. And let's see, let's get our modem powered up. Okay, should start to see some information there. So we have our modem within the Docker. Modem manager is taken over, and I'm going to let it do its thing, and I'm going to point out a few things here. So really, I have already set the allowed modes 4G, 5G, preferred to 5G. The band is already set. We're going to use the connect command to connect, and that's really about it. So I need, let's see, I need one more window open. What am I needing? Oh yeah, run. Okay. Short-term memory. It's not good. Let's see. So get one more window into our container. Let's see. We'll use this to control what's going on manually with the modem. And what else? Should be, I think that should be about it. Let's see, how can we see this? So yeah. All right. Hang on. Let me see. Drawing a blank on one thing here. Hang on. Ah, there we go. See? This is handy. I was trying to remember where NMCLI was. So I'm going to blur a couple things out because the IMEI was there. And we can see that the current band is on that 78. But, oh, that's interesting. The preferred is back to 4G. So if we come up, and I need to dot slash. Let's see. We're now on the preferred 5G. Clear this out. We've got our modem manager going. Let's see. Now we'll just kick things off with an actual. So this would just run just to show that, hey, we can get a successful connection, but I'm just going to jump right into launching this particular vulnerability that when you read down further, it talks about disabling 5G downgrading. So let's give it a go. We got to change something though with what we're going to paste in here. Let's see, let's get it into this window. We're going to change this 70 and 901. let's start this up. So this, give it a second. You'll notice that all the warnings are not popping up, but we get our UE, or I'm sorry, the GNB starting. And let's see if we can get a connection here. And there we go. We see that we get our attempted connection there. And that's pretty much what I wanted to happen there. We can see that, I mean, we pretty much got what it's showing is expected here, and then essentially it disables the 5G connection, in this case of the modem, and yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted. We can see timeout finished, and I'd have to, read a little bit more of what's going on here, but that was a challenge just to get to this part, to see this occur. And I just wanted to share that. Obviously, there is a lot more to this 5Ghoul and the framework, but I hope that this at least can get someone else up and run into this point to kind of understand what is going on, and then maybe I'll come back with a more in-depth video. But yeah, you can see we've got our what we're looking for. Target is not responding, so I think we have been successful. Hopefully I didn't miss anything, because I really just wanted to do this from scratch, and I'm terrible at taking notes. So there you go. Hopefully this helps.